Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com. Of course, today I'm wearing my Flying Giant shirt. I'll discuss that in a minute. A miraculous thing just happened. We started the show without anyone else talking but me. First time in 2 years this has ever occurred.
I am not on my A game. That's the only reason why I'm always interrupting you. And you know what? I do it on purpose because I know it doesn't really get under your skin. But I think that I can't tell. I don't know how inside the mind of Jim Graham is quite
complex.
Yes, thank you.
What a week. Holy cow. It's been a big week in the RC world. Let me tell you right now. I'm hanging out with my good friend, Jason Cole. We've known each other for a long, long time. Jason Cole and I simply used to be pro bros that flew together. And now here we are 89 years later. Grandkids on the way. Yeah. And then we have Maticus Gunnicus being an FPV person that he's got a story to tell y'all. Matt, please be kind in this story. Don't get too aggressive. But,
yeah, well,
let them know what happened to what could happen to somebody. And holy cow, out of nowhere, Dan Landis.
Wow. It worked. What's up, guys?
The man, the mystery, the legend.
We're joined by Dan Landis. Today we're going to talk to Dan about how I knew him as a small child, his eating habits, and a lot of other things.
We told you weren't getting off the hook on this easy, right, brother?
You did. You gave me fair warning. I knew it was coming.
Okay, so I think we should start straight out with Dan. You never know where a guy like him, he might have to jump up and go into some sort of meeting at any moment. So let's get right in. Dan, first I want to introduce you as the new team captain. Let me make sure I'm saying it correctly. You're the team captain for Futaba, correct?
That is correct, Jim. You are correct.
Woo. I think my first real radio that had more than 6 channels was a Futaba. It was a cap.
And yeah, man.
Okay.
Cap. Yep.
I regret selling that radio to this day.
Oh, dude. Yeah, mine was the Futaba Magnum, the little RC car one. Yep. Then I diverted to high tech, but I came home to Futaba. I'm a Futaba man.
And I'm very glad to hear that, Jim.
Yeah, buddy.
And Matt.
So, first of all, we can get into our history in the future, but I know your dad was an RC pilot. Was his dad an RC pilot?
He was. Both Grandpa and Dad flew RC. Grandpa was how I did a lot of flying early on. When Dad would have to work during the week, I would go out during summer, during when everybody else was at camp. I went to Camp Grandpa. We'd go out and we'd fly all week long.
Nice.
So, and there was a point I remember he would do the takeoffs and the landings, and I would do all the flying. And then it became, as I got better and he got older, I did all the takeoffs and the landings, and then he did the flying in the middle.
Awesome.
And how old do you think you were when you did your first solo?
It was probably about 6 or so.
And just so the listeners know, how much does it cost if they want to send kids to your camp now?
Oh.
Yeah. We'll send them to your place, Jason, and then I'll come down for a weekend.
You got to pass on that legacy, man.
Yeah,
Speaking of
absolutely, always happy to help out.
Speaking of Dan Landis camp, I know that you just had your July 4th party. Is that correct?
That is correct, Jim. We just we had that last weekend. We probably had about 40 to 45 people throughout the weekend. We had campers and trailers and people sleeping in the back of their trucks and you name it. And we had people all over the place and lots of flying, lots of food.
And I've been trying to get to that thing for years now. Every year you invite me. This year I had family come in town and wasn't.
Well, here's your invite for next year, Jason. So you guys are all invited. You've got 365 days to be there.
That's right.
Hey, did I tell you, Dan, how actually jealous I was of your flying location? I think I might have told you a couple of times. Like
just
50. I heard your little flying is like the Burning Man of RC. Like there's some crazy stuff going on, But it all revolves around flying.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Flying, food, friends, family. That's what it's all about.
Did anything amazing happen, like stupendous or just stupid?
There was a fair number of people that landed out in the corn and spent a couple hours out looking for corn. But nothing really too crazy. Just really lots of flying, lots of good times. And well,
So you're
granted,
saying
I
they
will
shanked
say
it?
Joe Vermillion was out having his breakfast sardines at 5 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
I saw that. Oh my God! Somebody asked if that was butter sauce. Those things were in. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that wasn't food provided by us. We did lunch and dinner, and Joe brought his own sardines.
Yeah.
Jason, I have a technical question. Are you seeing the live chat on the live video? Because I'm looking at the video, but I don't see the live chat.
I see the chat. We have Josh Gibson online. He said, "Hey guys, yeah, Pro Bros for the win."
Oh yeah, FT Dubs.
Nice.
So, Dan, how? Okay, let me start over. That's like 8 different concepts in one long.
Yeah.
So when I knew you, you were traveling the country with your dad, and you and your dad would go around to events and fly. And so, how old were you, do you think, when you and I started crossing paths?
I think I was about up to your knees, so I was probably about 8 or 9.
That's so crazy. Isn't that crazy?
It really
Wow.
is. It really is. And that was some of the best times, was getting to travel with Dad.
How old are you now?
33.
No way.
Perfect day.
You look all of 21, dude.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Very, very kind of you.
Little Daniel Landis. Is that what they called you?
Danny, but yes.
All right.
Yes.
You can punch me in the gut next time you see me for that, by the way. I'm putting you on the spot.
I'll hold you to that.
Thanks, man.
Now, I don't see your dad. You know, your dad was always at events. Do you and your dad fly together at the local field, or he's not out the way it used to be?
Unfortunately, I'm now in Champaign, Illinois, and Mom and Dad are still in New York, actually getting ready to do the final move down to Virginia. So we don't get to fly together nearly as much. They were actually out here for the 4th of July, so that was great. Got to do a lot of flying with him then. Getting ready to go to the U.S. Pattern Nationals here in about 2 weeks. So Dad will be coming out, and he'll be going with me down there, and he'll spend a week with me, be in my pit crew and all of that. So we do still get to spend time, and we do still fly together as much as we can.
Okay, so Jason, you get to ask Dan a question. I'm going to go get something to show you, Dan. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh,
you, Jason.
Question. All right. Well, I just remember, I guess I met you first at Neat Fair.
Yeah.
That was probably the first one up in New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my question for you would be, how did you guys, I missed the big flood year. What was your experience like with the flood?
Oh, I remember the flood quite well. We managed to pull the trailer up and get it up to high ground up by Arnie's house. And we kept flying, actually. We stood underneath the easy ups, and we were flying out on the flight line for a while. And eventually Arnie came by with the tractor, and he just started pulling campers out, even if people weren't there, so they didn't get flooded.
Are we talking about New York?
We are.
So for those of you that don't know,
yeah, me, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Check this out, Matt. So we leave for the day, and when we come overnight, it's flooded, and there's a creek that runs behind this event. There are literally coffins going down the creek, and it flooded out a graveyard. And then Jason, I don't know if you were there, but I saw a fire truck. Every time I say it, it doesn't sound real. I saw a fire truck floating down that creek with its lights on. Its lights were on. There was no one in it, but it was floating down the creek.
Yep.
That's brutal. So that was a major swollen creek that just spilled out. And
everywhere.
Yeah. So it flooded. How deep was it where the campers were? Like 3 feet, 5 feet?
Probably about 3 or so feet where the campers were, but it had to have come up about 15 feet to get over the bank by where all the campers are. So I mean, it was quite deep, 5 feet past the campers.
Was there any lost stuff? Did anybody get their campers destroyed and things like that?
I'm sure that there were some that did get ruined, but by that point, I think Dad and I had left, and I was real little at that time. I mean, yeah, like Jim said, I remember going down and seeing everything floating down the roads, and even people getting airlifted out by helicopter.
So Mike Glass, the originator of the first pre-printed foamy, the Hellraiser, and the Mini GB, Mike was there for that event. Mike, R.I.P., is gone now. He always said I was going to get a stroke. He would call me and he would say, "Are you at McDonald's again? You're going to catch a stroke." And
wow, he was your mentor for eating healthy.
Yeah, but we lost Mike to a stroke. So every time I go to McDonald's, I think of Mike Lass. I think, Mike, I'm still doing it. But Mike, actually, when we got there, had taken the Hobby Lobby trailer and pulled it to the top of the hill and had just was unhitching it as we drove in and looked at the whole place. Just
and you were like, and then Dan was like, "Let's fly."
Exactly. It had to be done.
So Dan, so for Christmas, Dan contacted me and I made for his dad a custom tooled belt, which by the way, I don't even have myself a custom tooled belt. That's number one on my list for myself. And a holster.
You're too generous.
Yeah, a holster. Well, a holster for a pistol and everything matched. So Dan, I wanted to show you what I made 2 days ago.
Okay.
There's an event coming up. This is for a full-scale event. And so I said, let me make something as a prize. And so check this out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hold on, let me get you on here full.
Is that Aztec writing?
Yeah, seriously.
So that's an arrestee.
That's awesome.
And there's one on one side, and then there's a different one on the other side, and they're all numbered. And
man, oh man, look at that!
That's super perfect.
Nice arrestee.
This was my second attempt.
Awesome.
Now the outside of this looks good, but how
deep is that carved into it? It's not going to punch out any of those oval holes, is it?
Yeah. So that was a concern. This is just went off RC, but this ugly pigskin interior I did not approve of, and neither did my sewing machine. So this is a junk piece that I'm not giving to anyone. But I thought
that's still got to go out.
I thought you might enjoy that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like,
and Dad loves it, and he's always got it on when he can carry. He's got that on.
Nice,
love it.
So you're taking the place of a 50-year veteran, and
yes.
And so how does that feel to step into the shoes?
It's difficult to step into those shoes, but he's a good friend and a good mentor, and willing to answer, and always happy to answer any questions I've got, and a pleasure to work with. And he's still on the team, and he was actually over for the 4th of July.
We're talking about Frank Knoll, and Frank is kind of an icon in the hobby, and like I said, more than 50 years at this point. That was 3 years ago, 50 years. So Frank's seen it all and done it all. And so Dan, that means that you could have this job for like the next 30 years.
Well, that's awesome. That's what I plan on doing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the job. For those who don't know, what do you do now?
Okay, so I am the team manager. Excuse me. I work with all of the guys, all the air guys, whether it be helicopter, airplane, drones, get them their orders, work with them on any questions on any product. When we've got new product, we work with them and coordinate releasing some of the product and getting them out, testing the product, going to different events and getting their feedback, what they see across the country from all the events. Just being the real eyes and ears of the company and finding out what's going on and what people want to see.
Awesome.
So what do you find is your most challenging aspect of this new career that you've now accepted?
Trying to find the time to talk with every single one of the guys and feel out what they're seeing, what their needs are, what they're feeling the area of the country that they're in is their needs. So, and it just being there for everybody. It's definitely time consuming, and it's a 24/7 job. And the guys have got my cell phone number and IMs and texts and all the rest of that. And I was up talking with one of the new guys last night, probably until 10:30, teaching him how to program his radio and getting him helped out.
Wow.
So it's more than happy to do it, and that's what it's about, helping everybody out so we can all continue to help others out.
So
yeah.
You worked for Hobbico prior to this. Is this in addition to what you were doing, or did this supersede your previous work?
You're right. I have been here it'll be 6 years in December. Most of my other lines I used to do, or I still do a little bit of product development on some of the surface lines. I've shared off some of my tasks to a couple of the other guys here, keeping one of the lines. And so I'm multitasking at the moment, but getting everything done and doing what needs to be done.
Cool. And how many shows, like I'm sure you're scheduled for the year, how many shows do you think you'll be going to?
Honestly, we don't even have a full count yet. We're still adding and looking, and I think right now I'm going to have 3 back-to-back events between the end of July and the beginning of August. So it'll be kind of busy there. We've got the U.S. Pattern Nationals, then IRCHA, and then the Drone Internationals also going on in Muncie. So lots of stuff going on, but it'll be a lot of fun. Lots of people to meet, lots of people to talk to.
You love it. You love traveling.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? You get to go and meet new people, fly new things, hang out with great friends. What could be better?
I know, seriously.
What's your primary traveling rig? Do you have your own truck that you drive, or are you driving a van for the company, or what?
It all depends on the event. Normally, if it's just me going and just a single trailer, we'll take the company van and trailer. Like Joe Nall, for example, where we need more space, would take the company vehicle and trailer, and then my personal vehicle and trailer. And I actually happen to have just got a new vehicle. My
Nice.
Avalanche decided that, I decided that after Joe Nall, my Avalanche had 200,000 miles and it needed to be retired. So on a random overnight trip to New York, Dad and I went and found a 2015 Suburban with, what did it have, 25,000 miles on it, and swapped out.
What color?
Yeah, buddy.
Black on black with tinted windows, and they're dark.
No, you
black
kept it Chevy.
Pretty sweet.
The black Suburban
Yes.
is the coolest. Is the coolest Suburban. Maybe a white one would be cool, but the black one's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this looks pretty sweet. I'm happy with it. It's,
You were like,
it's
I'm team.
very nice truck.
I'm team captain. I'm gonna go get myself a new rig.
Exactly. You got it, Jim. You got it.
Well, I'm a little disappointed because my 4-year-old son can spot a Chevy Avalanche anywhere on the face of the planet. He just spots them. He loves a Chevy Avalanche because he says it has 2 grab handles on the back of it, and he wants a Chevy. He wants a Chevy Avalanche when he gets older. My 4-year-old says this. I said, I'm going to give you my Toyota Tacoma when you turn 16. He says, well, I'll park it in the garage, Daddy, and I'll drive the Chevy Avalanche.
Nice.
So I'm disappointed you
I
got
did
rid
love
of it.
the Avalanche. I absolutely loved it, but the Suburban has just got more usability for me.
Nice.
So I told everyone that you had a special new Futaba radio that no one had seen that you were going to show everyone on the show today. So why don't you go ahead and whip that thing out?
Can you see it?
Man,
New one. It's right there.
oh man.
No, I didn't tell anyone that. So is there anything you can tell us? Any super top secret news or soon to be released or?
We have released the Futaba 16SZ, which will be the next air radio, both heli, airplane, and drone. That we're looking at having in stock September, October time, or somewhere between September and October. Airplane-wise, we just released the 4th airplane here in the Tower Hobbies Mustang line, and we've got the Miss America Mustang here. It comes ready to fly. All you need to do is add your receiver. Motor, servos, everything else are installed. Options are for retracts. If you'd like to install them, you can get the additional retracts and flap kit. But fun flying little airplane. I got to do some of the video flights for the 4 of them a couple months ago, and really enjoyed flying those.
P.S. That just went out in a mass email to over 107,000 people, so you can check out the review.
Yeah, Mean Joe V just
Awesome.
reviewed that one. So he was pretty mean, but he still reviewed it nonetheless. So
He is mean. I can tell you that. We just had way too much fun this
Rude.
past weekend.
you see why I'm a little subdued. I don't want to say anything too bad about him. He'll come. Oh God.
Poor guy gets a bad rap.
So Dan,
Sweetheart.
if there was one thing you could tell someone new to the hobby, like one good, I should have prepped you with this. One good tip for a newbie, what would it be? Let me start out with, okay, you got it. Go ahead.
Always have fun. No matter what you're doing, how you're learning, whatever, make sure you're having fun and you're enjoying. If you're not enjoying, then something's wrong, and you need to look at it again and come back at it a different way. But it should always be fun.
Should I apply that?
Doesn't matter what you're
like
flying.
that.
Should I apply that to life as well, or does that only go for hobbies?
That only goes to flying models.
Okay.
No,
Anything else in life?
let's use it for everything.
Like if I'm doing taxes and it's not fun, I'm not doing it right.
Exactly.
right, man.
Exactly. That's why you got to find somebody else to do it for you.
Yep.
Gotcha.
For free.
All right. We've got a listener question here for you, Dan.
Okay.
77 says, I've got an old Futaba Attack 4 FP T4 NBL AM 72.670 megahertz silver RF check sticker, circa 1984. He's asking, is that still legal to use in the U.S. and Canada?
Honestly, I would have to go back and check. I was 1 year old when that came out.
You don't know the answer to this off the top of your head?
That's a little bit before my time. I would want to say probably not.
Why not? Why wouldn't it be legal?
I think we need gold sticker. Wasn't it gold sticker was the last one?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was hoping you would say something along the lines of, tell me the serial number and I'll know. But you didn't.
That's a hard question, though. Jeez. That's great. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's going to take some research, I think, there.
Let's go down the line. I did get early on in my career, maybe the earliest part of my career, the advice I got from Bryce Custer was never stop flying the plane. Always fly the plane all the way to the ground. So I had a big Bucher Youngmeister 72-inch, and I lost it. It tip stalled, and I would try to get out of it. Tip stall, and I knew that it was going in. What a beautiful airplane. And right before I hit the ground, I realized that I had not applied any throttle. So I jammed on the throttle and got it right off the ground. And I flew out of what was obvious. Even if we don't do a podcast, Matt and I should just make sound effects once a day.
It's called the sounds of
horses. We've had way too much fun with this. It's awesome.
This is work, man. This isn't fun. We're not having fun anymore. This is just work.
Wow. So my tip would be always fly it. Don't ever give up on the plane till it's to the ground. I saw a guy at Joe Nall one year. It was a huge $24,000 Cessna. He didn't fly it until everyone had left, and I just still happened to be on the main line at Joe Nall when he took off. He flew it. He turned around and said, I don't have it, and literally walked away. And this $24,000 airplane flew into the pond back there. And so we jumped in the golf cart. We brought it back. I was like, do we get to keep it? I mean,
I was there for that. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. He just walked away. Oh, my God. So, Jason, what's your number one tip for a newbie?
Oh, number one tip for a newbie. Just trying to think of something different would be pretend the stick is a broomstick and you want to lift the wing when it's flying at you.
All right, Harry Potter.
You guys remember that one?
Yeah, David Payne's
blade's coming at you and it's rotated to the left. You'll pretend the stick is a broomstick and you're going to push it up under the right wing because it's low.
Oh man, that's complicated, but it works.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going
to be going like this with
there for me.
Wow.
Matt Gunn, does yours involve a hot trigger at all?
Negatory. No, I actually teach newbies to fly model airplanes. Every once in a while, I go to the local community college and I teach law enforcement how to fly drones in a drone class here in Cleveland. The number one thing that I always do I teach people that have zero stick time by the end of it. They're hand flying non-GPS quads all around the gymnasiums and outside. My number one thing is start with a simulator. That's what I could say is probably the best thing to do if you want to quickly get the muscle memory down. And then once you have the muscle memory going, then you can start flying the real thing and not worrying too much about instantly crashing it, right?
And for me in simulators, it was all about landing.
Yeah,
and
that's how I taught myself to fly.
I still enjoy landing. It's the best maneuver you can learn.
Oh, good. People say it's a controlled crash, but I beg to differ. It's quite elegant. It's just greasing it. You can't say that greasing her onto the mains is a controlled crash. I mean, technically from some World War II guy, yeah, it's a controlled crash. But
one thing I see a lot, and I always say, I said it 2 weeks ago to some kid, don't force your plane on the ground. You let the plane land itself. Keep the wings level, chop the throttle, and let it come in. Don't be forcing it down,
Just get on there, get in your ground.
They don't like it.
You notice that I try to apply that logic when I'm landing, let's say at Doylestown Barnstormers event where there's corn on either side of the field. And you're just letting it fly onto the mains, and then you look down and you're like, oh man, I'm 50 feet away from corn. What do I do in this situation?
Yeah.
Just punch out or just let her land and have it like an arrestor cable at the
I'm going to hit Mean Joe and invite him in here.
Get him in.
Dan, is there anything you need to talk about today to everyone? Maybe get some words out.
Sorry. No, just hanging out, having a good time.
Living the dream.
Now, I thought we were going to have a young lady join us as well today. Is she going to be able to?
She was taking pictures of you from the other side of the camera. Says your Hobbico feed, but
she is sitting across from me.
She's been so quiet, so rare. Come on in the camera. I hear her giggling.
I hear some giggling going on. There she is.
Hey guys.
What's happening?
It's our
Hi everyone.
Natalie.
So how do you look so pretty all the time?
Aw, thanks, Jim T. I don't know. It must be from my mom.
So
That's where all the good looks come from.
And she is, what's your official title? Marketing director?
I'm the PR and content manager.
PR and content. You will see
so
her.
I do all the social media. Go to events. See you guys.
You'll see her at Toledo, Joe Nall, maybe at Ceph one year. You never know. Do you ever know where you're going in advance, or do you just kind of
kind of on a whim sometimes, but you know, we manage. So
I saw your car event that you had. That looked like a lot of fun. Were you actually driving the car in the photo of you smiling with the transmitter?
I was.
Good.
That was like my son when he was looking at the camera and the car was in the background doing donuts.
Yeah, I'm good at the donuts. That's my thing.
The reason Dan is on today is because you sent that email out announcing him, and I was going to do this last week, but we couldn't do it. So I'm excited that we got you guys on this week.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be honest. I loved going to shows where you're there, Natalie. You make it so happy. Like, I just love the enthusiasm in the hobby that you have for it. It's great.
Yeah, so Natalie got to go. I mean, how can you not love it? It's just friends, family. You get to play with stuff, learn new skills, so it's the best.
So Natalie, you got to experience your first Joe Nall a couple of months ago. If you could describe it in one word, how would you describe Joe Nall?
Awesome.
That works. That works.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It is awesome.
A great time. Thanks, you guys, for showing me around, introducing me to a lot of people. So it was a great experience.
It's the biggest Joe Nall I've ever seen in over 10 years.
Yeah. Why did people say it wasn't? That's kind of.
There's no way it was. It had to be as big as ever.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie, have you ever seen my office?
I see it now, Mr. Musician.
And there's more where that came from.
Good.
He's got homemade amplifiers in there. You see my office? It's my basement. Very.
I like your ear system back there.
Thanks. It's Trey Chic. I call it. It's sassy and whatever. I don't know what this is. There's my trophies from all my boating, and that's all I got. I got nothing else, so I might as well flaunt it, right?
That's very cool. I think we need to set up a little basement workshop over here.
Yeah.
You've seen my basement workshop.
Yeah.
Your basement workshop's all over the internet, man. That thing is awesome. Hey, it's Mean Joe.
What's up? Workshop last week.
Be careful. He's mean. Where you at, Mean Joe? It's Lane.
Oh my
God.
Hot trigger.
Yeah.
Conference call.
What is your 20, my man?
What's going on, guys?
Now, is he the devil on your shoulder or the angel? Which one is he?
He's both. He goes back and forth.
Right. Lane, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
Every damn thing. How's the family?
Pretty good. They're still breathing. I haven't killed none of them.
Awesome. I wish I was out there with y'all right now.
We do too.
Come on up. You got time? Jump in the truck. Let's go.
Where are you guys?
Yeah.
Saranac, Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have time for that. That's
going on up there.
I'm the closest out of all of us. No, you guys are. Dan, you're closer.
I wish
Dan,
I could
you're closer. Come on. What are you doing?
Are you at the cards field?
No, we're at Walter RC Park.
Oh, that place is gorgeous, man. That's a cool
we're at
spot.
We're at the 2017 Michigan Electric Fun Fly, or meth. We're all
little meth action.
Nice.
What are you flying on meth? I mean, at meth.
What's that?
What are you flying?
I'm flying all kinds of stuff.
Are you flying the new?
Because I'm talking to you guys.
Are you flying the new P-51 from Habaco? The MK2 Mustang?
No, sir, I am not.
Well, that's no good. You should just say yes, regardless.
Yeah, we're going to send you to PR marketing school. Did you hear about?
Call that an epic fail in the industry.
Did you hear about the new school I'm starting? It's a helicopter pilot interview school. It's where you can. I'm going to teach helicopter pilots how to respond with more than one word.
Nice. Good luck with that. Yeah, you see what you got to deal with right there.
How?
Lane's a talker. He just doesn't stay in one place very long.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, what do you want to hear about? I'll tell you about anything you want.
I bet.
And if I don't know the answer, I'll make something up.
All right, here's what I think we should do. Brother Dan, I believe that if you want to hang on the line. And we have, I think Jason has a couple of things for show and tell, and we're going to talk about it. Are you going to hang out with us, or are you going to jump off?
Yeah, we can hang out for a little while.
All right, awesome.
All
right, guys, we're going to cut over to Jason Cole.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to interrupt, but hey, Dan, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What'd you think of that plaque we made for you?
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. That was so cool.
Making that. Did you, Jim? Have you seen that?
I don't think I have.
There are pictures on my Facebook of a wooden plaque that Lane made with an actual picture of me in my normal flying stance on the front. Absolutely awesome.
What?
Yeah, huh?
Is there a description for that flying stance? Is it the squat and fly, or the gunslinger?
It's the where the earth can move and I'm not going to move at all.
So it's a linebacker stance.
Yeah, I'm planted.
I think it's the swamp butt.
Hey everyone, if
you know what it is, it's actually the I dare you to fly your plane between my legs while I'm flying mine. That's what it is.
If you don't know who this guy in the t-shirt is, it's Lane of Lane's Planes, who is a laser engraver deluxe. Is it a laser you use, Lane?
Yes, sir.
I gave up on my Chinese laser. It looked like a lot of money and maybe not worth my time.
It is a lot of money, and unless you've got a lot of time to devote to it, we found it's a great way to go broke, though.
I figured I knew someone who already did it, so I was just gonna, if I really need it, I'll let you know.
There you go.
So
I'm gonna get off of Joe's shoulder. I got work to do. The Lane's Planes remote CUDA production facility is being set up.
Lane, will you say hi to your wife for me?
I will. In fact, I'll send her over here.
Yeah, we'll make her get online.
Okay, awesome.
She's here.
All right. Headed over to Jason Cole, all the FPV. Jason, what do you have to show us today?
There you go. So I've talked about it before, but I just wanted to show everyone the finished Hardcore 44 FPV race wing.
That's
3
hot.
years in the making.
3 years in the making. But I got it finished, got it balanced out, and got a few test flights put on it. And it is extremely fast and extremely amazing. So I've flown a bunch of wings, but this is a very different wing for me with all of these fins, all of these giant, things hanging off. It really stabilizes the plane, so you don't get a lot of yaw judder. And what's really cool is it's somebody likened it to going from analog to digital, and how precise and it just feels locked in and different. And this is really like a digital airplane. So, everything just stops where you want it to. The inputs are really direct and really responsive to what you're doing. But the best thing is cornering around the turns. This is a race wing, so you can cruise and do freestyle stuff with it too. But when you put it up on knife edge to do a hard 180 or even a 270, some of these crazy turns we have on the wing courses,
940.
It doesn't fall off, down the nose.
No, that's the worst when they start slipping out of the turns.
Yeah, it'll hold that knife edge and just blast through the turn, and so tight without snapping. Now you got to tune the controls a little bit. You can put so much control throw into it that you could maybe induce a snap, but you can tone the rates down to where it's just so locked in and just grooving and carving on the turns. I cannot wait to get to an FPV race.
I'm sure.
What's it sound like? What's it sound like in the air? Like this?
That goes.
It actually true to right wings, roots. It is a screamer, You guys probably remember the Saps of old, yeah. Just like that. So
Chris,
I'm having fun with this.
That's Click flying over itself, and then Jonah, man. That's all it was.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely knew it was happening.
What's that mean, Joe?
Jason, so tell me, is the coolest thing, because I love it, when you have a wing like that and you fly in it fast and you hear it go by and then you hear it echo in the distance too. That's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ripping off the tree line in the distance. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's
Jason,
legit.
How about when we would fly at the Catskills and Mike Hines would fly a dual ducted? Who made that? Huckabine or
Alpha and Flying Star?
Huckabine, and it was like just echoing off those mountain walls. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the tree. When you're in a valley and the trees really echo, big time.
What else you got?
So the other thing is, I did a review on this ESHeen screen and goggles a while back, but they've come out with a new version that came in the mail, and it's been improved a little bit. It's pretty much the same body, but now it's got diversity. It's got a DVR built in, which is really nice.
Tell us about that DVR. What's your experience with it? Is it easy to activate?
So far, so good. So this one, unlike another product I reviewed recently, it's got a button. If I can show it to you, it says pick a record. So it's got a dedicated button. You can start and stop recording, take a picture at any time. Very easy. The menu's great. I think they're finally getting the hang of these kinds of things. But I like it because it's got a self-contained battery, and the screen looks really good quality. I use this a lot for like tiny whoops, flying micro, indoor drones and not wanting to wear goggles at the time. It's also got a tripod mount. So you could hook it up on a tripod for yourself. But I'm basically using this now to record DVR, like on that wing. So my review that'll come out next week on that will include DVR footage from this. And then the review for this will be out in a couple of weeks probably. But it also comes with a magnification goggles set, right?
Oh, interesting.
It just kind of snaps in place. But it's really bulky and heavy when you have all this, because this is plastic and it has the battery and the DVR and all that stuff. So it's really not a great, for me, it's okay, comfortable, but it's not a great experience for goggles. So I prefer to use it as a screen and a monitor. Just me. You may like something else though. But just some cool stuff, some cool reviews coming down the pipe in the next couple of weeks.
Heck yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I really want that wing just after seeing it right there and you describing it. That's one thing that I felt like I was starting to get good at, was racing the wings, but I can't get out enough on the weekends to go travel around and race. So I haven't really done it, as much as I wanted to. But
tell us about how's your Optera working? I flipped the Optera to Matt at his request because that's how we do it. And how's it working for you?
Excellent. I am really getting some. You can see it right there. So I want to show you something on it real quick. You guys give me 2 seconds. Let me grab it, and I'll show you something neato on it.
Did you see this mean, Joe?
Did he just say neato?
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Did you make that for Jim?
Yeah, I'm going to make a couple, I think. I'll do it on Saturday. I didn't know if I could cut. I did all that with a knife. I just didn't know if I could do straight lines,
Oh, that looks awesome, man. That turned out great.
That's why I was going to get a laser cutter.
I'm back.
And now back with Matt. Matt Gunn of RCGroups and FlyGiants.com.
Maticus Gunnicus.
The most active RC website.
The world's largest and most active Maticus.
Mildly aggressive Matt.
Yeah. I got the wingtips off of it just for storage purposes. But this is really cool. I put the I switched the whole thing over to 1.2, ripped all the stickers off of it except for on the bottom. I actually shed almost an ounce of weight, a little bit more actually, just pulling all the stickers off of it. You know
what I really like is you got a snuff can on the plane.
So I got my snuff can, aka the Singularity. This is a 1.2 antenna, and it's very low drag, especially being right there on the surface of the plane. And this thing does incredible with range, penetration, all that good stuff. So if you look on the bottom here, there's the 1.2 VTX, and then the cable runs up here. I pulled the sticker off, ran it all the way down. Don't worry about this ding. I screwed something up when I was flying. And then it cuts across right here and goes inside. Same on the other side. Got the same thing that goes across, goes all the way out to the Dragon Link 1.2 antenna. 433 megahertz. And then inside of this beautiful machine, I have set up, oh gosh, this is just too huge. Let's see if you can see that. There is a vector sitting right in there with the
What's your vector, Victor?
What's your vector, Victor? Roger, Roger. It's got the GPS right on top of it, mounted right on top of it. Works fine. And we got noisy Joe Vermillion stealing the show.
Sorry, I'm trying to cover it.
So it did have a, when I picked it up, it had a smoked, one of the FETs in the ESC was smoked. So I put this.
I know who did that.
Yeah, I know too. So I put this Viper Air ESC in there. These things are great. They don't even make these anymore. And they're just incredible ESCs. I use them all the time. I do have a 3S 4000 in there. So I timed it, and when, you can pull all the way back on the elevons here at altitude, just pull all the way back really slowly, and then it'll just start pancake flying down without any
elevator.
Yeah, elevon, whatever. But it'll just start slowly descending. No chance that it's going to tip a wing or anything like that.
Not a tip stall. Especially, are you running, did you keep the, no, you did not keep the AS3X, did you?
That's correct. I'm running a Vector in it.
Oh, right. That's right. So that supersedes.
Yep. So with this guy in here, you cut back on, I was actually, I would say, surprised at how many amps it does pull. I thought it was going to pull a little bit less, and I think it's because of the folding prop. I need to switch it over to something a little bit more, what's the word here?
Yeah.
Efficient, like as far as under power. Like when you fold it, yeah, it's fine. But when it's actually flying, I don't think it's as efficient as a APC or something like that. So it was pulling a lot more amps than I thought. At cruise, I was pulling almost 5 amps when I wanted to be pulling about 2 or 3. And even though I was pulling that amount of amperage, I was able to get 25 minutes of flight time out on it with that 4000. So I do have weight in the nose here. There's a lot of lead weight that's inside of here that came with it. I pulled a little bit of it out and then pushed the battery all the way forward. I'm going to pull that weight out and put a 3S 5000 and just keep increasing it until I hit the point of no return with that. So I love it, Jim. Thanks for the Optera.
It's a great flying bird. I flew it in 18-mile-an-hour winds, dogfighting, and it without any kind of gyro, and it did not care. I was in the goggles.
I can't believe you're dogfighting it, because it does have this tendency when the wind is up to sort of flap its little wings, like on the tips. It's kind of doing this number right here.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me where I took Allie I took Allie's tip off. Hey,
Not
Jason,
good, man.
I have a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
And this can be flown with mini radios. I'm going to share my screen. You don't know what I'm about to tell you, but when you do, you will.
And if you don't, you will.
Said Bubba Spivey to me. All right, I'm going to share the hint. Are you ready? Present to everyone.
Hello.
There's not one, but 2 of those. And do you know why?
Why?
Because we're both getting one, and we're going to go out and get to have fun with it together. And
I hate both of you guys.
Oh, how cool is that?
We're going to capture the moment. That's the new Expert, and they've been shipping. I've been reading the thread, and there you go. And so Jason and I'm going to stop sharing now. Jason and I will be able to go out to the field and tear them up. Well, not virtually tear them up, but have a good time. So Matt Gunn, when this request was sent to me, I said, that's awesome. Matt Gunn's going to be really upset he doesn't live in Nashville.
Yeah. That's the truth, man. If I could just come down there on a whim, I would. We'd be ultra mega efficient with our reviews because all three of us would be there.
I think your wife recently gave you permission to visit. Just
She
saying.
did.
Just
She
saying.
did. She told me to hop on a plane, come down there, find a cheap flight, and go down there and spend some time with my boys. Her exact words.
Joe, speaking of all this, how do you live the dream? How do you go everywhere you want to go all the time?
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now, I've got an amazing wife that takes very good care of me, and she makes everything I do possible. So,
are you into polygamy?
No, she loves me, and she lets me do what I like to do. And
I'm just saying, maybe I can marry into that
very
family.
Understanding, right?
Yes.
She is amazing. She's much more amazing than I am. I'll tell you right now.
I don't know. She's probably not as mean as you.
She's not nearly as mean, but she's 5 times as hot. So,
yes.
Out of my league, she's playing an entirely different sport. So it's just how it is.
Yeah.
And now, Dan, your job is to go everywhere, so you don't even have to worry about it. You're going whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Good thing I like it, though.
Well, we're at the top of the hour, so why don't we jump into that? Jason Cole, what are you going to next? What's your next event?
Man, I don't even know.
You don't have a DLG thing? You went to a DLG contest. How did that turn out?
Oh, not so great for me.
You didn't win it?
I didn't win it. I came in 3rd last year at the same event, and I had some really good rounds and then some really terrible rounds. But I will say this for myself. I did best the reigning world champion in 2 rounds. I'm one of 2 people that knocked him out of getting 1,000 score on 3 rounds that he didn't make a perfect score. So I knocked him out of 2 of those. So that's pretty cool.
Did you come home with all your airplanes?
I did, but my main primary plane is currently needing a repair. So where the wing peg is, I threw it really hard on the last flight of a round. Luckily, heard a crack, said, "Oh crap!" Flew the round, maxed out the score, got 1,000 for the round, landed, and I have a DLAM on the trailing edge of the wing where the peg is. So I just got to run some epoxy down in there and fix that. But could have been a whole lot worse.
Luckily, that's easy. Hey, I'm going to share a screen because a user just commented on something, and I think we have something to offer him. So, doing that now. I just saw a thing about, I can make a FPV on my T-Max. And so, wait, that's not what I meant to share. That's a terrible picture of me. Jason Cole. Dagnabbit. Oh, I see the problem. Jason Cole.
Dagnabbit.
Yeah, Dagnabbit. That's a thing I started saying after I had kids. Jason Cole just released this review on the Losi 110 Rock Ray, and he did a FPV piece on this, and he went a little above and beyond. Now, Jason, is this a 5.8 or 1.3?
I did both. So I did 5.8 for this review, and that worked out really nice. And then I wanted to try the 1.3 gigahertz system so I could get better penetration and be able to, go through, behind trees and more obstacles in a trail or something without video cutting out. And I did that and used that same snuff can that Matt was showing earlier, the Singularity.
How'd it work?
And the video was awesome, but the problem I kept having was the RC transmission. I would go out of range on that well before the video. So you really, if you're going to do something and want to go out a good distance, and you're going to want to go out a good distance when you're doing that,
you need a Dragon Link.
You need a Dragon Link and do it upright so you don't just run out of RC range in a short amount of time. Other than that, it's a whole lot of fun, especially running a trail and just bashing through. It was a blast shooting the video. We did a really cool video on that review. If you want to go check that out, it's on our YouTube channel.
It's also right here. And that also went out in the mass email today, so you can check it out. Now, this picture of you standing in the woods. Two-stroke, baby. Here, Dan. Put something in there, Dan. Give us some sound. Okay, so go check out the Rock Ray.
I don't even know.
We have a story to tell, and I'm glad that I did not forget. Me and Matt Gunn. Where'd you go, Matt?
I'm right here.
There he is. Matt Gunn, tell everyone what. Definitely don't. Keep the aggression down on this one, and maybe not talk about possible options and all that. But tell them what happened to you.
So I was out flying at one of my favorite spots. It's called City View, which is about 1.5 miles from me. It's a great slope soaring spot. It's also behind it is a huge field complex. Now, what happened was they built a bunch of retail there, and then it was built on top of a really old landfill from the 40s and 50s. So they started having methane gas come up inside the buildings. Long story short, they shut it all down. It's
I did not know that.
There's no retail there anymore, and it's kind of a haven for the homeless population, if you will. So, but it's great flying. You've seen these videos that I've done over there. It is exceptionally awesome. Lots of hills, lots of trees where you can shoot gaps.
Are there dales? Do they have any dales there?
Dells. I would guess there's some dells and some things like that. So whenever I go there, I always kind of, I carry protection, if you will. But that's neither
not to go there.
That's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with this story because it's a spot where there's no one else and I'm by myself. So I'm flying the Goblin, and I'm having a really good time just ripping this thing 110 miles an hour around trees and exploring this like almost a full square mile of open flying. And I get done and I land it and I go and pick it up and I'm packing everything up and I'm literally done. And I see this guy riding towards me on a bicycle. And, without like really labeling a man, I can just tell he's probably homeless. His shoes were very tattered. His clothes were tattered. He had one of those milk crates on the back of his bicycle filled with cans. I can only assume that that he probably lived in one of those buildings where I've seen a lot of people before.
He was outdoorsy.
He was an outdoorsy type. So he stopped. I'm parked on the top of a hill, and he literally stops his bike at the bottom of the hill, and I'm watching him sort of packing up, and I'm just keeping an eye on him. And there's no one else around at all. And he comes up, and he's down about 60, 70 feet away from me, and he takes his backpack off, and he's reaching inside of his backpack. So now I'm really kind of becoming aware of this man, and I'm watching him, and he starts walking up the hill towards me, and then he pulls out a video camera, and when I say he pulled out this really old Sony camera that has the flip out side to it, those types. It almost looks like a digital SLR, but it's not. It's an older camera, and he had it, and he flipped it out, and I thought to myself, now why is this guy walking up this hill to take pictures of the beautiful scenery around here? Like, that's the only thing that ran through my mind. And he goes, "Hey man, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, okay. So I look at him and I say, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you think it's cool to invade people's privacy and with a drone?" And I'm like, and I literally go, okay, like I see where this is going. I'm starting to.
I got to cut. I have a picture of this guy in case anyone wants to know what he looks like. This is that guy. It's outdoorsy. Okay, going back. I'm stopping.
That is the paleontologist that I said looks like Jim Graham. Anyway, so this guy comes up to me and he's filming me. He's videoing me. I think he's videoing me. I don't know for sure if he's got a dead camera, but he's holding it up. He starts calling out my license plate number. And he's like, blah, blah, KK, whatever, blah. You are invading my privacy. Why are you doing this? And I said, why would I want to spy on you? Like, I took it right from the big book of drone knowledge. And he stopped. He's like, huh? So who are you? I said, why do I care what you're doing in a giant field? And he's like, do you really think it's okay that you're using a drone to invade people's privacy? I said, I'm not even recording, pal. I'm just using my FPV feed and I'm flying around. Where's the recording device? And he goes, what do you do with it? And I said, well, that's none of your business, but I have a good time flying, and I'm out here trying to, kill some I'm trying to, you know, burn off some steam from the day. I don't know what I said. I said something along the lines, I'm trying to relax. And he's like, well, are you putting it on the internet? And I said, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Like, at this point, I'm getting a little agitated with the guy, but I'm still humoring him. And he says, well, if I'm on that video, I want you to instantly delete the whole thing. I said, buddy, you're not on this video. I have no idea where you came from. I've never seen you before. I'm flying an airplane at 100 miles an hour. You're the last thing that's on this video. In fact, the only thing that's on this video is blur and sky. And he's like, well, and so he's got me on video and he's talking to me. And I told him, I said, I'll make you a deal. And this is when he's like, okay. And he says, I said, if I go home and I look at this video and I find you on it, you have my word, I will delete it. And he goes, well, okay. And he like just walked away, got on his bike. Yeah. And he rode off. And I was really taken aback
with the airplane down the road.
Yeah. But I was really taken aback that this guy was so upset that he thought I was videoing him, but he shoved a camera in my face to
that's a good point. I didn't think
to combat me. He shoved a camera in my face to try to accuse me of, number one, invading his privacy at a landfill, and number two, how do I feel about invading people's privacy? And then he calls out my license plate number on his little video like that means anything.
Let me ask you, are you really not going to fly there anymore?
I don't know. I've thought about not going back there because I don't want the static, and he didn't look like a very friendly individual, and I guess I was a little bit more unfriendly than he was at that point because I got a little bit upset with him. But I don't know. I may go back there. I may not. But if I go back there again, I'll probably bring somebody with me just because it's being alone.
Being in the goggles.
Being alone and having goggles on, he could sneak up out of nowhere and be right on top of me, and next thing I know, things could go south. So
I'm shifting gears. Out of all the times I've stared at your attic, or your basement, I've never noticed your wood pieces that you've made to hold planes into the
my little thing over here.
Yeah,
well, like the white airplane right over your head. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like I have a basement just like that, and I 100% need to steal this idea of creating little legs to hold airplanes from the
so
joystick.
all I do is screw cut a small piece. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. This is so difficult. I feel like I'm a weather personality. So
rub your tummy.
Yeah. So I cut a small piece and screw that in, and then I screw the long piece on top of that so it can swivel.
I like that a lot. That's a great idea.
It holds lots of airplanes, especially that one right there. Yeah.
You can't see me pointing, but the red airplane where the legs are you just slide it in like a holder. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, it works. That's the Rockstar. There's the same way. It's just sitting there on the.
Yeah, I could do that all over the basement.
There's all sorts of airplanes. There's airplanes that go all across here like that.
Yeah,
I like airplanes.
We're all like that.
I like airplanes.
I like turtles.
I like that.
All right, everybody. Well, it's time to jump on out of here. Oh, wait. Something's happening. Oh, wait. There we go. So, first of all, I want to thank you, Jason Cole, for all the hard work you do every day on the site and in the site and around the site. Matt Gunn, thank you, sir.
Thanks for not losing my cool with the homeless population that doesn't like drones.
Mean Joe, you keep living the dream for the rest of us, okay? And
Absolutely.
say hey to your awesome wife from the team at RCGroups. Dan Landis, congrats on this. This is, I don't know if everyone understands how big a deal this is, but I personally believe that this is a gigantic title and an awesome opportunity for you, and I think you're the perfect man for the job.
Thank you very much, Jim. Much appreciated.
All right, and thanks for spending some time with us today. And if Miss Natalie's there, tell her that we all love her, and we'll see her at the next one.
I will let her know, definitely. Thank you,
Get in the
guys.
truck. Come down. Come up. Get in the truck.
Bring it.
All right, everybody. I'm Jim T. Graham, your host. You've been watching the RC Groups live video hangout. It's got like 9 names, but you get the idea of what it is. We try to come here every week. Sometimes we can't because life gets in the way, or job or work or whatever. So I'm glad we made it this week. Thanks to everyone who took their time out. Not only everyone on the video, but all you guys that hung out with us live, and then all the millions of people that'll watch this video in the future, because this then goes to our YouTube channel, which you should also check out. I'm going to jump out now and get back to it. The weekend's almost here.
Yep.
Be sure to have a good time. Because like Bubba Spivey told me, life is short. All right. Bye, y'all.
See ya.
Simmer down.